Hi, my name is David Hicks, and welcome to the next installment of our Oracle Cloud Talk series, where we speak with our ISVs and hear a little bit about their journey to the cloud, and especially how they've done that with the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. Today, I'm very pleased to be joined by Chris Jones of Vertex, but instead of me introducing him and explaining what Vertex does, why don't I actually ask him to do that himself? Chris, it's a pleasure to have you today, and thank you for being here.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, David. Absolutely delighted to be here today and to sit and have this chat talk with you. My name is Chris Jones, and I'm the Chief Revenue Officer at Vertex, which essentially means I have responsibility for all of our customer-facing groups and our revenue-generating activities for the company. At Vertex, our mission is to enable global commerce and take the friction out of tax with that commerce. So as companies do business domestically and globally, they'll have challenges associated with sales tax, use tax, and value-added tax, or VAT, and it just becomes unmanageable for many of these companies. So we help companies of all sizes automate and manage this function, and the ultimate goal is to reduce their risk, enable their business to grow, and allow them to expand into new markets and new business models.
Great. Well, first, again, Chris, thank you for joining me here today. So I know you said you're in charge of sales, but obviously that's frontline talking to customers, every day. And as a result, what were some of the technology challenges that you guys were trying to solve when you evaluated, OCI as a platform for Vertex?
Yeah, so as we continue to evolve our Oracle solutions, we really wanted to explore an offering joint Vertex Oracle to our customers in a hosted solution on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. So one of our real goals is to support our customers as they accelerate their journey to the cloud, and to do that for US companies, but also companies that have a global footprint or global expansion plans. So we really wanted to support companies with business model transformation taking place, especially those that are moving their back office operations to SaaS or to cloud-based offerings. So with that, we really looked at OCI as a strategic solution that can enable that, and help improve customer choice, their flexibility, and provide an overall better customer experience.
Great. Well, we've actually been working a while together now, Chris, and kind of out in market. So maybe you could tell a little bit about what that journey has been like, since we first started, with OCI for Vertex.
Yeah, sure, David. We've had a 27-year partnership with Oracle. So we're always looking for ways to evolve and grow that partnership. And OCI was a really logical extension for us. So it's definitely been a journey with Vertex and the OCI team, but it was a relatively quick decision for us to decide to partner with OCI. That led to us doing a proof of concept with your team in the early 2019 timeframe, and then later that year, we formally joined and became an ISV in the program. It was right around Open World in 2019. That led to us then launching the offering in April of 2020, and ever since then, we've been working collaboratively with your teams, developing current messaging and demand and all support around the market offering. And this has really all been possible because of the joint technical and sales initiatives that we've done together and the support that you've provided us as a partner.
Yeah, no, and thank you. We appreciate that partnership. And, before OCI, you guys have always done great things for us as an integration partner with, the Oracle ERP and NetSuite products, providing that, tax solution. So thank you. And it's great to have you on OCI as well. So now maybe we shift a little bit, to, I think a couple of different variants of benefits, right? So first, maybe we start with what sort of benefits is Vertex seeing from being on OCI?
Yeah, sure. It's a great question. The whole reason that we pursued this partnership was to provide a better answer and solution for our customers. In us working and collaborating with your technical team, there's one area we've already been able to see notable improvement, and that is we've been able to streamline the day one enablement of a customer's instance. So in working with your team, we've taken what used to be a 3-day process down to less than 8 hours. So a really notable and significant improvement, and it's all a result, and it all comes through the automation that's offered by OCI. So really excited about that. In general, we're seeing faster implementation times. Our technical teams are currently working together to capture the more specific KPIs or performance metrics around those implementations. And we expect in the next few months to be able to speak to that at a more detailed metric level. But net, I mean, all this work allows Vertex and Oracle together to offer what we call faster time to value. We're all about our customers trying to realize value faster, and we've already seen some results of that through the partnership.
Great. Thanks for sharing that. And we look forward to continuing to make sure that you guys get the ultimate benefits and improvement as we go forward. Here's probably the $1,000,000 question, I think, of our entire conversation, Chris. What sort of benefits are your customers actually seeing from the work that we've done together?
Yeah, so for sure, as I mentioned in the prior question, we're already seeing this reduction in overall customer setup and deployment time. So that's been one that's really stood out, and we're receiving really positive feedback there. And while an OCI will continue to drive this increased customer speed to market and experience, and as we bring on more customers, we expect that to even increase. In addition, we expect to take advantage of not just the performance benefit of OCI, but the increased security benefits that OCI provides. We really think this will resonate with our customer security and IT groups, and really give them peace of mind that Vertex and Oracle is a complete solution running together in OCI, once again, supporting this whole concept of faster time to value.
Yeah, great. Thanks. And glad to help you deliver on that. So maybe with our last, few questions, we shift, Chris, let's talk a little bit about kind of the experience, with Oracle beyond the technology. What's the partnership been like with as we've moved forward here together in the cloud?
Yeah, I'd say the partnership overall has been really positive. And we look at a partnership like this kind of as a three-legged stool. We look at the business aspect, the go-to-market, and the technology. And we really feel it's important that there's tight alignment between the teams in all three of those areas. And we've operated like that way with Oracle for the 20-some years we've been together. And we feel it's just as important, if not more, now that we're in this cloud-to-cloud environment. So we're seeing really strong interest and growing demand from our joint customers. I'll just throw out an anecdotal point. We recently had a sales executive working with a prospect, and the CIO was at a point in the diligence where there was a technical discussion that was taking place. And as soon as we explained that we're running in OCI, the conversation ended very quickly in a positive way. And we were able to just move on, and that CIO got that comfort from that discussion. And the fact that we could present that as part of our application partnership and the OCI partnership really was a game changer. It really accelerated the sales process, and we were able to move on. So just an anecdotal comment from an experience standpoint. I think looking at the whole thing, we just wouldn't be where we are without the support of your team. Having the focus and dedicated team for the program and investing that in Vertex has been key to getting us where we are. And as an ISV in the Oracle ecosystem, I'd highly recommend taking this journey with this ecosystem initiative.
Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate that. We often talk about we really have to do our best work after we actually get the technical work done and we win the business together, right? Of how we actually then drive this for the long term. So it's great to hear that, and kudos to the teams involved. You kind of mentioned one thing that I think for some partners like yourself, there's a great opportunity to actually align with Oracle, from a go-to-market standpoint as well, beyond some of just the regular partner opportunities. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your go-to-market efforts with Oracle and what we're doing there.
Yeah, that's definitely when the fun begins, right? I mean, we can work to put the solution in place, but then we really have to make it worthwhile for everyone involved. I mean, the way that your go-to-market team aligns to Vertex, it's led us to leverage those dedicated resources and dedicate resources from the Vertex side. And we've jointly executed numerous marketing activities and market-facing events, all during a year that we really didn't expect to execute the way we did in 2020, right? I mean, everything was kind of flipped upside down at one point, but the teams powered through that, and we put a number of programs and activities in place. A key component of it, though, has been the sales to sales interactions. Not to minimize the marketing activity, which is so important, but the two sales teams really working in tandem together has been a successful component of the partnership so far. I'll drop a specific example. Albertsons, who's a large supermarket chain that many are familiar with, is an account. The teams worked really closely together, collaborated on the approach for the account. The integration and support for the cloud infrastructure is really going to help Albertsons with their digital transformation. They're transforming their company, moving to a store-to-door delivery, as they refer to it, in an overall larger cloud adoption. And it really was a result of the teams working together, and it wound up being a perfect combination of commercial, customer, and a technology win. So it was just a great success story for Vertex, Oracle, and Albertsons, quite frankly.
Yeah, no, and I got to listen to their story during your virtual customer conference, and yeah, it was great to see what our teams actually came together, to do in that situation, and they're very pleased with that. So yeah, perfect example of that. So kind of in the home stretch here, Chris, a lot of people are looking for a different cloud platform or an additional cloud platform to support their business. What advice would you give to other ISVs that are actually looking at OCI?
It's a great question. Well, I really think ISVs should look at this ecosystem program as a way to deliver innovation to your customers and a better end user experience by running in OCI. The collaboration and technical support that the team brings to the table really can help you exploit this as a big benefit with your customers. I'd also suggest kind of focusing on those three legs of the partnership I mentioned, the business, the go-to-market, and technical, and not shortchange any of those three. They're all so important to reach success. And specifically on the go-to-market activities, that alignment of the sales teams is so important. And it's really important that you as the ISV invest in that. You have to really treat it. We found that dedicating resources has been key to that, to not have it treated as a hobby or a part-time for someone, but to really invest in that as the ISV, and then Oracle to match that investment as well. When you put those two together is where we've really been able to move the needle and see significant process. So we've been seeing this working so far, and I see no reason why it's not going to continue to even expand as we move forward.
Great. Yeah, no, great answer. Thanks. So I kind of end a lot of my conversations like this, Chris, I kind of, asked you a set of questions, I always at the very end, anything else you'd like to add, anything I didn't ask that, you'd like to comment on before we sign off here?
Again, I'd encourage ISVs to invest the work necessary to build this partnership. As you mentioned, David, signing the agreements is just the beginning. It's really after that you have to really invest in it. And I think back to before the pandemic, we had our 2020 sales kickoff. It was in Nashville, Tennessee, early last year. And we were lucky enough to have an Oracle executive join that and participate and speak and bring a message forward to our entire customer facing group around this foundation of partnership and trust. And how the two companies working together, the sum of our parts would be much more than individual. And it really resonated well with our group. And I think that was a key step in laying a really solid start to the partnership. And then from that point on, it's just been, like I said, really positive with steady growth along the way. So I would really, suggest making that investment, and it will bear fruit for you.
Yeah, great. Yeah, wonderful partnership. Appreciate your support in the journey. And this is really actually probably just the beginning of great things to come, I hope, for years and years. So thanks again, Chris. Really like to, thank you for spending the time opening up, being honest, collaborative here in our cloud talk today. Can't, again, thank you enough for it. And for everybody else, appreciate you taking the time to listen to us as well. Would encourage you to think about your own cloud journey, the opportunities that you've heard here today, and how you can look at your own company, to leverage these as well. We'd love to talk to you about your cloud journey, about OCI, and how to actually bring you into our partner fold as well. If you'd like more information, please speak with your Oracle account executive, or go to isv.oracle.com to learn more. And again, thank you, Chris, and thanks everyone for spending your time with us today.
Thanks a lot, David.